Okay, hey everyone. So I'm going to be talking a bit about pulse charts. So it's a damn shame seeing kind of GoPulse exit or whatever they're doing. I'm not quite sure, but when they kind of announced their token and everything, I hadn't thought about building kind of a dashboard for PulseChain just because we already had such a good suite of a good site right from launch. But I thought, hey, now's the opportunity to build something and flex my kind of dev muscles. So if you are looking for an alternative, this could be a good option for you. It's called plscharts.com. It has kind of a very similar aesthetic to GoPulse. Everything's kind of in the same place that you'd expect it to be. I recently had launched the portfolio tracker, which was a huge undertaking, but just every single day putting new features into it. And yeah, it's been really fun kind of understanding how all of the different protocols and stuff work on PulseChain. So yeah, I'll talk about a few of the features here. Some of them are pretty cool, pretty unique. I mean, right here on the dashboard, you have the COM coupon rate. I haven't seen that anywhere else, but that's the instant rebate that you get when you max length stake 100,000 hex is what we put in there, but you get 7% back right now on PulseChain when you max length stake PHEX, and then 4.2% or so on Ethereum. So yeah, this is the main dash. There's a bunch more pages, including leagues, which I've done a lot of work on. Again there, I mean, maybe I can touch on it real quick here. But we have, and I'll be updating this weekly, we have kind of all the leagues, the dollar amounts, the unit amounts, and then the holders per league. And these are liquid leagues. So you can kind of eyeball how many people are in your team, how many people are in your group of people, and what you need to kind of level up to the next league there. And I've got it for right now, holder stats for all of the PulseChain kind of cores and hex coins, hex altcoins, as well as like a bunch of memes and other coins on PulseChain, which you can click on and it calculates the leagues on the fly there based on the supply. And then there's like bridge stuff, gas stuff, validator stuff, like a lot of the things that we saw on GoPulse. If you want to kind of get started, depends on if you're new or if you already have had assets on Ethereum when PulseChain launched, but I'll go through and show you kind of how the Airdrop Checker works, which is a new feature requested to me yesterday, less than 24 hours ago, by RHMax himself. And I thought, hey, I'll build this just for the conference today. But yeah, the input, if you find your address here, and if I go ahead and get 3 addresses that I'm going to use for this demo, and as soon as you paste in 1 or more addresses, you could paste in 50 addresses here, it's going to automatically detect the different addresses and it's going to check the airdrop for you. So it's going to bring up the dollar value and the table of different assets that you have on PulseChain. Now this wallet has had activity already on PulseChain, so it's not like a fresh Ethereum wallet. But after you've checked your balances, what you can do is you can either check another address or create portfolio, smash create portfolio, and it's going to go straight to loading up your dedicated portfolio. So you're going to have each of those 3 addresses here now, and that is stored privately on your machine in local storage. So nothing is sent to any server that I control or any other third-party app. So that set of addresses that you put in, it's just stored on your machine. If you clear your cookies, then yeah, you're gonna have to put them in again. But like I said, it's as simple as just copying and literally going to Excel or wherever you have your addresses stored, copying the list and smashing them into the single input, and it will recognize each unique address, which I think is pretty cool and a good balance between privacy and user experience there. So looking at the portfolio tracker then, it has kind of a very similar UI to GoPulse, what we're used to. You can filter by each of the addresses here. You can see the token balances. There's advanced filters, which I'll go into a bit, but basically you can include or exclude liquid balances, HEX stakes and stats around HEX stakes, or validators. So if I just wanted to see liquid balances, you know, everything's going to be updating on the fly. If I just wanted to see HEX stakes, then it would just take those numbers into account. So I think that's pretty cool. The validators hasn't changed, but I can show you, if you click the little pen icon, you're going to be able to go into your settings. Yeah, there's just so much to cover here, but I'll go through it. You can see all of your addresses. If I wanted to name one of these, you know, hot wallet, click save, you know, cold 1, whatever, you know, cold 2, click save and then leave, then you're going to have your naming updated. So that's your wallets. Detail, if you click on any of the addresses, easy copy paste on any of those addresses, which is cool. This input as well, if you paste in 3 addresses or 4 addresses, it's going to be able to detect. So if I paste in the same 3 addresses, it should give me an error here. 3 duplicates skipped, but it will find the unique ones, right? So you don't have to manually put in the ones that you forgot, right? Which is a nightmare. You just paste in the massive list and you're good to go. So under settings, you have a bunch of options here, and you can set the number of validators that you have. So 10, and then just click off. And okay, 10 isn't a lot for this wallet, but if I just show validators, you can see it's like 10 grand here. And when I have that filtered, then the total also updates. Then what else is there? So looking at the liquid balances, you can see everything's organized. You have the ability, which I haven't seen on too many portfolio trackers, to actually sort by amount, so dollar amount. You can start with the smallest first, start with the largest amounts first. It's default to start with the highest amount. If you like sorting by percentage change, for example, if you leave and come back, that's stored in your local storage as well. So that's really cool. Like all of your settings and stuff are going to be kept the same every time you come back to the site. So however you customize your portfolio, it's going to be like that when you come back. So if you like sorting by 24-hour change, when you reload on your phone, for example, and you're out and about, you're going to be able to see the top gainers in the last 24 hours at the top of your portfolio. You can also click on any of the percentages and it will change to the absolute dollar amount, and it will also reorder based on the dollar amount, which is quite cool. So let's just go back to sorting by amount here. And yeah, I'll just go through this portfolio. You can see there's tons of coins in here across both chains. So it does Ethereum and PulseChain. We have a toggle for either or, 3 states there. And we also have the HEX Stake section down here, which I've recently added full support for all of the kind of alternative ways of HEX staking. So HSIs, pooled staking, that's all there for you. You can see, yeah, you can pretty much see everything. I mean, there's a lot to go through here, but basically you can see your total HEX value at a very, very high level. So all your liquid stuff, all of your HEX staking value across HSIs, pooled stakes, native stakes, and that's all summed together to give you that figure that you see there. And then you can drill down and see the breakdown, the percentage of liquid HEX to total staked HEX, which I always kind of wanted to understand for myself. Total native staked HEX, or total staked HEX, and then the breakdown for solo staked HSIs and pooled stakes, the T-shares that each of them has, the APY, and then we get to the list of all the stakes, which, yeah, I think looks really clean. You can kind of eyeball the progress. You can also sort by end date. It's default to sort by end date, which I think makes the most sense. So you're kind of on top of what needs to be ended soonest. But you can also sort by progress. So 92% progress is the highest one for this set of wallets. Sort by amount. So one of the wallets here has quite a few big payday stakes, which is also labeled. If you need the stake ID, you can click on the stake ID and get the stake ID. If you have an HSI, so you can toggle over to HSIs and have a look at those, and you can see the HSIs all here. Let me just show you the, okay, we don't have any HSIs on ETH. Okay, so I can't show you that one, but if you click on the HSI ID, you're taken through to the HSI, the NFT page on Etherscan. There's tons of details packed into this stuff. Yeah, everything's kind of laid out for you here in terms of principal, yield, the T-shares for each stake, the APY. The other cool thing in the settings is, so for the Maximus kind of pool stake tokens, as some of you may or may not know, they have kind of two prices. There's the market price, which is the current price on Dex Screener, which, you know, sometimes because of the current bear market, liquidity, etc., the price is zero, which is unfortunate since they're worth like multiple hexes at this point. So what you can do is you can toggle this to use the backing value, and it also makes you feel better. Because then instead of seeing, say if I toggle this back real quick to show you the effect here, instead of seeing 5,387 for 1 million Maxi, you're going to be seeing nearly $12,000. So more than double, because it's worth about 2.1 hex. One Maxi is worth 2.1 hex or so. And I have another site detailing those stats called lookintomaxi.com if you're interested. The other thing that you'll be able to notice is the leagues. So we have leagues for each liquid position, and these are liquid leagues. And we do take into account the wrapped versions of each asset. So wrapped hex from Ethereum on PulseChain, it's going to be added to your native hex on Ethereum, and you're going to be able to see the total league position. So if I click on this, which is 90.2 million hex, it's going to also include the wrapped version, bring that to 94 million hex, and it's a sharp position in the liquid leagues. So that's pretty nice.